Right, hello everyone. Just taking another look at Bitcoin here, just a quick recap video of a video that I posted a few days ago. This will be a bit of a slower one. I did just wake up, but I thought it's important that I cover this now while we're in the middle of the move. Okay, I pretty much was quite right that we're going to get a massive manipulative move sometime in the next few days, and it's perfectly timed with the weekly open. Okay, so I would not be surprised if we just continue up to all-time highs this week, and that was just a shakeout pretty much. Just grabbing liquidity, mitigating some orders, and continuing up. So I took a short trade up here, which I posted on Twitter, so you can go check that out. It's not hindsight, but anyway, going over this again. Like I explained in the last video, you don't want to be entering while we're at all-time highs. You want to be waiting for obvious manipulation to occur. Okay, like right here, we have a sweep of this double bottom, and then we broke above the level that swept the double bottom, forming a broken base. So you want to enter at the origin of a move, and you want to make sure that at the origin of that move you see obvious manipulation, which is what we saw right here, sweeping the double bottom and then the break above. So there's a sweep, there's a sponsorship, and here's the mitigation. It's no coincidence that we just retested that level perfectly, okay? There's no way you can tell me that that is a coincidence. There's no argument for it, okay? Anyway, right above this broken base we have these equal highs as well. So like I explained in the video, you don't always have to have liquidity resting right above the broken base, but if you do, there's a higher chance that it's going to play out. So here we go. I think we're bottomed. I don't think that this is going to run down and fill in this candle. I think this whole down move here will be pretty short-lived, but there's not enough confirmation to say yet, so I'm still holding my spot. I was selling spot all the way up in this move. Again, posted on Twitter and in Discord. I was just not comfortable with how obvious the distribution was with these levels that need to be held. So I have quite a bit of capital that is set aside for adding to my positions. Now, what would I be looking for if I was to compound? Okay, I would need to see some obvious sweep and break structure. Now we have a sweep right here. Just there. We are coming up to our New York close here in a few hours, so if we can get this move shortly, that would be great. It again happened a little bit lower. If we do break below this candle here, obviously the last resort for me would be this low. So I'm just looking for a double confirmation to get long there. If we see a sweep and then a break in structure, then I'll enter long with leverage, just targeting all-time highs. Now, obviously I'm still in a decent amount of spot, so if we do, internet, man, frustrating. If we do break this box here, you know, a retest of this high that was formed during the last pullback that we had, makes the most sense. We wouldn't want to break below the manipulation that formed right before the break of this previous high, if my internet wants to load it. Bruh. NBN. Yeah, so here we have the high. This will be the last line of defense for me. You wouldn't want to break below that, to be honest. If we do break below that, then it's obvious bear market territory. However, you know, like if we do come up and form the broken base here on the lower time frames to the upside, right? And revisit this area of distribution and then continue to break down. And I'd say we have another like at least a week of downside or just sitting in this range before we continue up. So not really rushing into any positions here. Now I'll show you where I went wrong too here on ETH. Oh, actually I should show you I'll show you my short position from today first. What happened to all my... I swear... Man, it's NBN, it's so bad. Alright, so we have the key high here. Right? We swept above the key high. Then we have the KSRP here. I'm not going to explain that, that's for the people that actually bought the strategy. You understand what this pattern is and how it works. Then we have a double confirmation of the KSRP right here. Now I posted this on Twitter and in Discord. I showed my entries on FTX. So we have the obvious short signal here, okay, and then this obvious target, and I was targeting the this level right here, which is what we got. I didn't hold all this way though. I closed around 52, which is all good. Don't need to catch the entire move. So, regardless of how strong my higher time frame bias is, so obviously I was quite bullish. Okay, I still am bullish. If I see distribution on the 15-minute time frame and there's 15-minute targets, be this these equal lows and this untested broken base, then my strategy still permits me to actually go short. However, it doesn't affect the positions that I have running on the daily and the weekly. So this was a nice hedge. I did manage to save myself from at least a small bit of the loss. Obviously, I'm still in a decent loss for today, but yep, quite simple. We have the KSRP double confirmation, obvious downside objective. We hadn't seen manipulation in a while, so I knew this move was going to be quick. I wouldn't need to stay in it for very long. Either way, on to the next. I'll show you where I went wrong with ETH here. So this is the level that I have marked in my previous YouTube video. Make sure you go check that out. Okay, and I said that these orders had already been mitigated and we've already tested the raid base right there, so there's no need to really come back down and test it. I thought we would just test the high of this broken base and continue up. But I did say that Bitcoin had a much lower level to reach, which it did. And if we were to reach into that level, then it would drag everything else down with it. What I didn't do is plan for that on other alts. So, for example, here on ETH, we had this untested broken base right here. So if I had have planned for that on ETH here, I probably would have been able to take advantage of this move, but hindsight kills, is what it is, all good. And then we have, if we then scale down onto the lower time frames, you have a much lower time frame. But we like on the 5 minute, you're gonna have an obvious broken base there, and we just tap straight into it. So we have manipulation, sponsorship, the break above, and then mitigation. So we come back down here, mitigate the orders that we use to push price below the low, and then we can continue up, hopefully. Remember I explained that in my strategy video that the goal isn't to try to kind of predict if a move is going to be manipulative. You simply just mark out the chart. If it seems obvious, just wait for the confirmation, being the sponsorship. So yeah, on Bitcoin, Ethereum, pretty much everything here I am looking at adding into longs. It just depends on what kind of pattern we form here. We could easily just consolidate for a day or two. If we do consolidate, and inside that consolidation I'm seeing broken bases to the upside that are being respected, then that's quite obvious that to me then that price is reaccumulating and we're getting ready for another move up. But for now it's a little bit too early to say. If we do retest the distribution here on Bitcoin, then I can look to get short if I see more confirmation once we return there. But other than that, no setup yet. Just really being careful in these markets. For those of you that are new, I know there's some new traders watching my videos. You probably aren't used to this, right? And this isn't in every market either. You won't really find such volatile moves in Forex. But the price still moves the same way, just a lot quicker in volatile markets. Yeah, so for those that are new, just make sure that you take some notes, right? You want to be entering at the manipulation, not before it. So this being before the manipulation, this being at the manipulation, below these lows. This is where you want to be entering your positions. Obviously taking profit on the way up when you're seeing confirmations in the opposite direction of your trade. What else? Yeah, just making sure you keep some capital aside, and I guess that's what you can do if you're taking profit on the way up rather than on the way down. Just keeping your leverage low, making sure that you're not getting stopped out from these positions. And again, if you're adding up here, it's going to be quite difficult to keep your leverage low. So anyway, it's a bit early. Sorry if I went on a rant. No worries, hope this helps you guys out. See ya.